Hello, myself Dr. Sandhya Chaudhary. Good morning to all students. Today I will teach you what is error and types of error. So, what is error? You know very well the difference between an observed or calculated value and a true value. On other hand, you can say that variation in measurements, calculations, or observation of a quantity due to mistake or to uncontrollable factors. It is well known that measurements, whether it is weight, volume, or pH, etc., is of only limited accuracy. The results will differ from the actual values and in all probability from the results obtained after repeating the experiment various times. So it can therefore be concluded that there is a degree of uncertainty associated with every measurements, and one can at best decrease this uncertainty to an acceptable value. It is not easy to judge the quality of measurement. The chemists use the method of comparing the data with that in literature. It may be added that by improving the calibration or by adopting a different method, judgment on the reliability of the data can be quantitatively obtained. In case the result will contain a probable degree of inaccuracy, however small it may be, it should be remembered that by repeating the experiment several times will lead to better results since judgment and observation improves. So now, what? How many types of error? Here, three main types of errors can affect the accuracy or precision of a measured quantity. These are determinant errors, indeterminate errors, and cross errors. So that here, what is determinant error? Determinant errors are those that, as the name implies, and determinable, and that presumably presumably can be either avoided or corrected. They may be constant, as in the case of an uncalibrated uh, weighing that is used in all weighings, or may be variable but of such a nature that they can be accounted for any correction. The determinant errors can be generally classified as personal errors, instrumental errors, operative errors, and errors of the method. So first I want to explain what is personal error. What is personal error? These are due to the factors for which the individual analyst is responsible and are not connected with the method or procedure. Personal errors may arise from the constitutional inability of an individual to make certain observation accurately. Some persons are unable to judge color change sharply in visual titration, which may result in a slight overstepping of the end point. For example, of the personal errors are like mechanical loss of material in various steps of analysis, and errors in reading a burette, improper washing of a precipitate, using impure reagents. And other examples are, insufficient cooling of crucible in weighing, yeah, or ignition of precipitate at incorrect temperature. Another one is allowing hygroscopic material to absorb moisture before or during weighing, and other failure of apply buoyancy corrections when required, or error in calculation. These are some examples of personal errors. Now we explain what is instrumental error. What is instrumental error? These errors are common to all instruments as each one has a limited accuracy. The manufacturer of the instrument generally provides that tables quoting the reliability of the results in the respective range. It should be kept in mind that the calibration of the instrument in one range may not be valid for the entire range. In the case of volumetric analysis, the glass apparatus like burette, pipette, and measuring flask are calibrated. If the working temperature is different, the volume delivered or measured may be incorrect. The chemist has to consider all these errors which get introduced during experiments. And next one is operative errors. What is operative errors? These include personal errors and can be reduced by experience and in case of the analyst in the physical manipulations involved. Operation in which these errors may occur include transfer or solutions, effervescence and bumping during example dissolutions, or incomplete drying of samples, etc. These are difficult to correct for personal errors, which may also be introduced due to physical disability, like color blindness, which may make incorrect judgment of color. Other personal errors include mathematical errors in calculation. And other one is what is errors of the method. In errors of the method, these are most serious errors of an analyst. Most of the errors discussed above can be minimized or corrected for, but errors that are inherent in the method cannot be changed unless the conditions of the determination are changed. Thus, the Kjeldahl's method used for the determination of nitrogen may not give consistent results in certain cases because in some organic nitrogen compounds the digestion with concentrated sulfuric acid may not completely convert the ring nitrogen to the ammonium sulfate. This is particularly true in the case of pyridine compounds in which the result of nitrogen determinations is low. Some other sources of methodic errors include co-precipitation of impurities, side reaction, slightly solubility of precipitate, impurities in reagents, etc. Sometimes the correction can be relatively simple. For example, by running a reagent blank, it is standard practice to run such blanks and subtract the results from those for the examples. Sometimes, however, we are forced to accept a given method in the absence of a better one. And last types of determinant error is additive and proportional errors. In additive and proportional errors, here what is it? The absolute value of an additive errors in independent of the amount of the constituent present in the determinant. Loss of weight of a crucible in which a precipitate is ignited and errors in weighings are the well-known example of additive errors. The presence of this error is revealed by taking samples of different weights. The absolute value of a proportional error depends upon the amount of the constituents. Proportional error may arise from an impurity in a standard substance, which leads to an incorrect value for the molarity of a standard solution. Other proportional errors may not vary linearly with the amount of the constituents but may exhibit an increase with the amount of constituent present. Here I am taking one example of Na2SO4. When Na2SO4 is co-precipitated with BaSO4, barium sulfates, its amount increase with the amount of barium sulfate in direct ratio. And one other example of is the ignition of Al2O3 at 1200 degrees centigrade. The aluminum oxide is anhydrous and non-hygroscopic. Ignition of various weights at an appreciably lower temperature will show a proportional type of error. Now, now I want to explain what second type of error is indeterminate errors. What is indeterminate errors? These errors are accidental and quite intangible over which the analyst has no control. These errors are revealed by the small difference in the successive values of measured quantity. When the measurements are made by the same analyst, random errors can be divided into two classes. First one is variations within determinant error. Here first of all, what is it? Variation and within with determinant errors. These errors cannot be prevented from variation. For example, in igniting a precipitate of AlOH ka whole twice to constant weight or at constant weight, an analyst may obtain successive value which vary without a definite trend. This variation could be due to varying amount of water in the weighted residue of Al2O3. There are appreciable weight changes in hygroscopic Al2O3 due to slightly different periods of ignition, exposure to the atmosphere, and cooling of a desiccator. And second type of indeterminate errors is erratic error. What is erratic error? The analyst has no control over erratic errors. Weighing with a sensitive balance subjected to variations will show erratic errors. The mathematical model the best satisfies the magnitude of random error and the frequency of its occurrence is called the normal distribution. And inspection of the error curve you can show in the figure. From the figure, the magnitude in the figure you can see the magnitude of the errors and what is the frequency of the error. Sometimes it may be negative, sometimes it may be positive. So that from the above figure, the small errors occur more frequently than large ones, and positive and negative errors of the same numerical magnitude are equally likely to occur. And third one is narrow pegged curve with step slope indicates a relatively high degree of precision. And you can understand from the figure, from the above figure, a broad curve indicates a relatively low degree of precision. Now, third type of indeterminate error is third types of error is what is gross error. Gross errors are caused by experimenter uh, carelessness or equipment failure. These outliers are so far above or below the true value that maybe are usually discarded. And when assessing data, the Q-test is a systematic way to determine of if a data point should be discarded. And these are also maybe use of numerically incorrect conversion factors and wrong selections of method and unsuitable storage of samples. These types of error is are called gross errors. The above matter taking from the G.R. Chatwal books. So, the name of book is Instrumental Method of Chemical Analysis, and you can also consider uh, for the read above matter. You can read from uh, Modern Analytical Chemistry, which is written by A.L. Gupta. Thank you so much.